Havertz. We haven't exactly seen, for all the talk of Declan Rice arriving and all this sort of stuff. Timber hasn't happened yet. It's a step in the right direction. Jesus would be good in a 2 up front. I think if Jesus continues, he might just have to do the winger thing, hoping for Patino too. I mean, if you're Charlie, Ethan is staying, ain't it? Yeah, it's true. Allegedly. I mean, if you're Charlie, I would love Charlie Patino to stay, a bit like Balogun, but you probably have to. I'm not saying you can't make it here, but you know, you're both probably dramatically better players than you were 12 months last year, right? You probably need to remove your emotion from it, at least the situation. For Balogun, he's played what, 20, maybe 30 times, I don't know, something, 20, let's just say 20 plus games. Are you going to get that at Arsenal? I'm not talking about showing Arteta what you can do and all of this sort of stuff. Are you going to get 20 odd games? If not, you've got a decision to make. For Charlie Patino, you're seeing 100 odd million Declan Rice rolling. On paper, Xhaka and Partey are still there. You've still got Jorginho and El Nene, where, let's face it, if backs are against the wall trying to get 3 points, they will play ahead of you. Martin Odegaard, Havertz, Smith Rowe, all ahead of you. And probably a next midfielder I've missed out. It's a myth. And you still hear talk of Arsenal trying to bring in more midfielders. There you have it, really and truly. I don't think they're clearer pathway. I don't really think there's a clearer pathway. If you're a 30 striker, I don't think there really is a clear pathway, to be fair. And this is a byproduct. The better we get as a club, in theory, there's going to be less chances for young players. Let's be honest. I think Saka's an exception to the rule. I think Saka, like Phil Foden, not comparing them, every now and again, your academy bloods through. The madman at United, we won't say his name. Every now and again, there's a player that just comes through where I think some people try to be footballers. Some people say God says some people are going to be footballers, which Saka is one of them. You know, Saka's just gone like that. He's an exception to the rule, in my opinion, if I'm completely honest with you. But one thing that Saka, Smith Rowe, to a degree, Nelson, Eddie, and Joe, who were on the scene before and benefited with for years and years and years and years of, unfortunately, Arsenal making the wrong decision, we found ourselves having to strip everything all the way back. To which, yeah, it's romantic. Number 7 and number 10, Martinelli doing his thing as well. I know he's from Brazil, but he's one of our own. We had to strip it back. Now, if we're trying to be competitive, we can't exactly do that. You know, you can't really win with young players because, you know, the manager's first job is to protect his own, get 3 points. And fans want everybody to play. They want them to play the same lineup, but rotate everyone. They want all the young players to get opportunity. It don't work like that, really. So as much as I don't want these young players to go, if you could sell them, sell on clause, get decent money and potentially buy back clauses, it is what it is. People forget that, you know, as much as players need to come through the academy for all Premier League teams, just having one player in the first team is amazing. You know, I don't think, yeah, Foden's amazing, but you look at Foden and Rico Lewis based on what City have done. It's amazing that they've broke through, and any other clubs really, you know, Trent and all of these guys. We live in the Premier League where money is the solution, you know, and even that, if you're a right back coming through in the academy and somebody and someone also brings in a right back to your club and he costs 30 million, the 30 million man, it's not always right and it shouldn't always happen, but he might play ahead of you because they've got to justify that. It's almost impossible. And this is why I'd say for young players, you've got to be selfish. Staying at a club isn't necessarily the wrong or right thing. Leaving isn't the wrong or right thing. But you've got to do what you feel in your heart can make you a dramatically better player. People can banter Jadon Sancho. Had he have not left your City, sorry, would he be here? Balogun, if you sat around the first team, where would you be? You know, even Eddie and Ketty, you've got a decision to make sooner rather than later. On the face of it, new contract, rotation option, yeah. But in your heart, you know you want to play more first team football. How much do you think realistically we can get from player sales? Honestly, smash the like button. Not a clue, because it's not what players are worth. It's not what they could. It's what you can hustle. Balogun, you need to get at least 35 plus million. I'd love it to go to 40, 50. Pepe, you're just hoping to free up the wages, innit? I don't know if that would be the best business Edu could do if he's able to get a transfer fee and Pepe's wages in full off the wage bill. So I don't know if we'll terminate Pepe's contract, something Edu said they're prepared to do again, go out on loan. The loan club take on some of his wages and give us a loan fee, and we put up with that for a year. Obviously, in an ideal scenario, he's gone permanently. Hopefully, you know, Saudi Arabia are buying players. Get all the Pepe highlights up and send them clips to all the Middle Eastern clubs, really. Lokonga, you're hoping that you could palm him off, really. Maybe the club still have some sort of hope. You'd imagine he goes on loan. Tavares, we signed for 8 million. Minimum, you should be able to double that. You know, Austin Trusty had a good loan spot at Birmingham. You get a couple million for that. Patino, couple million for that. Couple of young players will probably bring in a couple thousands and things like that. Hopefully, Cedric can be taken off the wage bill. You know, you're hearing you're going to get about 15 million euros for Granit Xhaka if he completes that Leverkusen move. Partey, we're not going to get our 45 million pound back, and I'd like to keep him actually. Holding, I mean, it's all a profit on the 2 million, but maybe 10 million quid. Don't know, if I'm honest with you. Lovely talking points, man. 300 in the room, only 5 likes. That's harsh if we only got 5 likes. I think it's extremely wrong there. We should be able to sell Pepe for 35 million at most. Come on, realistically, we will not get 35 million for Pepe. I want to be wrong. I really do. You're not getting 35 million for Pepe. And I know there's other exceptions. He's got a year left on his contract. Shown patches of brilliance at Arsenal. Hasn't pulled up any trees. Hasn't really done that at Nice. Arteta's made it clear that this man's day is numbered. You're not getting no 35 million plus. Teams paying his 100-odd million pounds a week wages, 100-odd thousand a week wages plus. You're not getting no 35 million for Pepe. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I think he's got the ability to go for 35 million, but the dynamics at play suggest, bro, we're not getting no 35 million for him. We're not. We're not getting nothing like that for him. For us to compete, we need depth, which means we have to keep Xhaka, Partey. Losing them will mean we won't go beyond what we did this season. I hear that. 7 million for Pablo Mari, plus obviously the loan fee. I think Lokonga going on loan to Burnley with an option to buy at the end of the season. You know what? The fucked thing is, pardon my French people, smash the like button. I don't believe in Lokonga, but I still think I don't know what, I think there's a player in there. I definitely don't think there's Yaya Toure, so I wouldn't be against him going on loan, really. But at times, you know, not every player you should pull the trigger on early and get rid of them. But at the same time, not every player that you persist with is going to show some quality. And we need to know when signings haven't worked out. In the case of Tavares, Lokonga, I love Tomiyasu. And Tomiyasu is more so the injuries. If we're saying the same things next year, maybe we need to cut that loose. If we're saying the same things about Fabio Vieira, because now you've seen a couple of players that can play in roles that Fabio Vieira's been signed to play, maybe we cut them losses there. So we'll have to see. But with that being said, let's see exactly what the transfer news is saying. A promise is a promise. I said we get to 100 likes, we do that. Whether you're on Twitch or YouTube, thank you very much for being here, your talking points, etc. It's been the worst kept secret. You know, you got to rate Arsenal's admin team. It got leaked and all these things. They showed no urgency to thingy. Announced Kai Havertz's contract, and I don't know if it's still there, but the Twitter bio on Arsenal, you know, they've got the emote that shows rice. You can see why. Kai Havertz joins on a long-term contract. Germany international Kai Havertz has joined Arsenal from Chelsea on a long-term contract. The 24-year-old has been a key player at both club and international level in recent seasons and has already made 35 appearances for the German national team to his name. I can't lie, I thought he had a lot more, scoring 13 goals and playing at 2 tournaments. We all know he broke some records at Leverkusen, etc. He's joined us. Specifically, let's see what Edu and Arteta have said. Big up Kai Havertz. We're excited to bring Kai to the club and great work by everyone to get this deal done. Kai is an exciting addition to our squad who will bring great attacking quality and versatility. As an experienced 24-year-old, his signing represents another important step in strengthening our young core of talented players we have at Arsenal. We look forward to working with Kai. Versatility is the word I got there. Attacking quality and versatility from Edu. Let's see what Mikel Arteta said. Bearing in mind, Arteta and Edu were midfielders. So let's mold our very own Kai Havertz now into something. Kai is a player of top quality. He has great versatility. Second time versatility has been used. Is an intelligent player. He'll bring a huge amount of extra strength to our midfield and variety to our play. Now we know he can play as a false 9. Does that tell you Mikel Arteta is saying, yeah, if I need you to play out wide or as a false 9, you could do that. But you're a midfielder. You might be that Xhaka sort of role. I'm not too sure, really, but reading between the lines, maybe we'll have to see in pre-season and in the season to come how he'll be utilised. And not just him. You've got Kai Havertz, Odegaard, you know, several players, Smith Rowe, that can play a bunch of different roles. There might even be a reality one day you see Zinchenko in midfield, even though I don't think that. So, yeah, big up Mikel Arteta. We welcome Kai and his family to Arsenal Football Club, and we're all excited to start working with him when we start pre-season training soon. He said himself, it's super exciting for me to be joining this amazing club and to be part of the Arsenal family. This club has such a big history, and I hope we can achieve a lot of things. The mentality in the Arsenal squad is very high, and you can feel that That was one of the reasons why it's been so hard to play against Arsenal recently. The aim is to win trophies, and I'm going to give everything to do that for the supporters and everyone at the club. I'm now looking forward to meeting all the players and staff when we come back for pre-season. He will wear the number 29, and we do have a family mentality. And once again, I don't want to keep beating the same drum. While we've got a family mentality, we're not here to make friends or cousins. We're here to start football matches and ultimately win trophies, take someone's spot. Whether that's Odegaard's, whether that's Xhaka's, if he's still here, take someone's spot. And to the players that I'm telling to take for him to take the spot, don't let it be you that misses out. Give Arteta headaches. Make Arteta wish that he could play 12 players. When his wife is trying to do the birds and the bees, make Arteta stay up all night thinking about, I got to play Smith Rowe, I got to play Havertz, Odegaard, Jesus, Nelson, Saka, Timber, Ben, this, that, and the third people. So, yeah, welcome to the football club. Arsenal are confident of clearing final Declan Rice transfer hurdle to seal a £105 million deal. Who's that? James Maddison signed for Spurs. You're not good. Media guy, there's a reason you signed for them, man. You have to get agendas for life now. The Gunners are working with West Ham to reach a compromise over the remaining issues with the payment structure. Arsenal are today working to finalise their £105 million move for Declan Rice. The Gunners have agreed a fee with West Ham for the midfielder, which is an initial £100 million plus £5 million add-ons. But the club are still ironing out the finer details of the deal and how the initial £100 million will be paid. West Ham want it to be paid within the first 2 years, while Arsenal want to spread the cost out over 4 years. There's confidence that a compromise can be reached and Arsenal have a clear run at Rice. Obviously, after allegedly City pulled out of the race, personal terms are not expected to be an issue, and his signing will continue a £200 million spending spree at Arsenal, who on Wednesday night completed the signing of Kai Havertz. We're also working on a deal for Timber. We hope to seal a deal worth around £40 million for Timber early next month. Rice is currently on holiday and, as you know, would need to have a medical. He has 2 years left on his deal, 1 year with an option of another, and he will be a record-breaking British transfer record for British players, really. So, yeah, step in the right direction. Romano has said it's not quite here we go yet, but it's only a matter of hours. The only thing to be sorted is the payment terms. So it's all about this detail, and then it'll be done. It shouldn't be much longer before it's all wrapped up. Big up Fabrizio Romano. He said, I understand Arsenal are now increasingly likely to keep 2007. That's when I started secondary school. Born gem Ethan Noeri at the club. New deal almost agreed despite top club's interest. Club sources confirmed plan to get it done. Talks advancing and progressing well, waiting to have it signed. He's been wanted by all of the top teams in the Prem, rightly so. Quality player, 16 years of age. Let's take our time with him. Let him develop. Slow cook him. I genuinely believe him and MLS Miles, by the time they're 18, they'll be in the first team. And I'm not saying they'll be playing week in, week out and things. I genuinely think we have 2 Premier League standard quality players. And I really have high hopes for Koza Dewberry. But as we know, it's not always like that. They've got to work. None of them are ready right now. Keep working hard. And I look forward to seeing Ethan and Miles as first-year scholars. So, yeah, big up to them. Happy that he is staying at the club, man. I mean, I don't know where he ends up long-term. I've seen him play everywhere. You know, for some of you, despite being a schoolboy, you would have seen him play at the under-17s Euros for England, where he showed his goal scoring touch. He can play as a 10, play out wide, play up front. Very good in tight spaces. Good dribbler as well. He's just got an aura about him. I really got a lot of time for Miles as well and Ethan. I really like both of them. And obviously, when you're 16, turning 17, you can play everywhere and stuff. So there's a lot of development he needs to do. And it's not about ability. It's about application. You know, how high can you apply that ability and how long can you do it for? You know, because if he was to play Premier League football tomorrow for Arsenal and we've got Champions League on Tuesday and Saturday, there's no good being the best player on the pitch on Tuesday if you're terrible on the Saturday. And I think in this day and age where potential is the biggest buzzword, where if you're someone that's seen as a star at 16, if you're not quite there at 18, the same people that put you on a pedestal call you overrated. Let's see what happens. But again, not signed on the dotted line. Hopefully he commits to signing his scholarship, people. Again, it is somewhere. Where is it? The Athletic spoke on that. Because we're here, we might as well discuss it. He has committed his future to Arsenal. He has signed scholarship terms with Arsenal and agreed a deal for when he turns to get a pro deal of when he turns 17 in March of next year. His schoolboy registration was due to expire tomorrow, people. He did become our youngest Premier League player at 15, really. So lovely to see. Apparently he grew up in Islington, so he's a local lad. And, you know, he made his debut at under 18s level at 14. He's been in the England setup despite technically being a schoolboy. And I genuinely believe he's, you know, he will be an Arsenal first teamer, but it's down to him to go and get that. Again, I know some other people, best talent, you know what happens with these young players. Best talent since Jack Wilshere, Starboy, all of this. I don't doubt any of that. I just think the man's a good player. Let him develop. Leave the man alone, really. So, Yeah, big up Ethan, man. Keen to see your development next year as well. And hopefully with the under 18s, we can go all the way and win the FA Youth Cup, having gone, failed essentially at the final hurdle, really, where we got battered against West Ham. So yeah, big him up. Away from that, though, once again, we've agreed a £105 million deal to sign Declan Rice. The transfer breaks down as an initial £100 million initial fee plus an extra £5 million in potential performance-based add-ons. The structure of the payments are still being discussed between the two clubs, but Rice is now free to discuss personal terms and look at having his medical. So progress, really and truly. It will smash our transfer record. Big up Declan Rice, really and truly. Again, we'll be going over the same things. No one gives a crap what Gary Neville thinks. Mikel Arteta eyes dream Kai Havertz partnership as Arsenal close in on £200 million rebuild. Apparently, Mikel Arteta likes Havertz's mentality and coping with the pressure and expectation from a young age, while at Leverkusen, as well as scoring the winner for Chelsea in the Champions League final 2 years ago. Hopefully, he can do that for us. Another key part of his attraction was his age, as Mikel Arteta looks to make the squad even younger with the potential to grow, while he's also capable of playing as an 8 in midfield, as he showed at Leverkusen on occasion, as well as being versatile enough to play as a false nine and part of the attack. Fair enough, really and truly. The Havertz deal was a surprise move because he has played as a striker for much of his time at Chelsea, but earlier in his career, he played as an attacking midfielder, and Arteta likes his vision and ability to pick passes all over the pitch. Arteta believes Havertz could even team up with Rice in midfield as part of a new duo to succeed Thomas Partey and Xhaka, who could both move on this summer. Arteta also believes that having developed Odegaard in the last 2 years, he could see similar results and improvement of Havertz. As Arsenal manager and technical director, Edu believes he is one of the most technical players in Europe. Fair enough. And we've seen already what they've had to say. So hopefully there is truth there. Obviously on the 28th, we heard that Arsenal agreed a deal over Declan Rice. So it's advanced since then. Moving away from all of that. What is this? Well, that's annoying. Thought we had something there. Despite what some outlets have been saying about Manchester United trying to enter the race and offering players and so on, I've personally never reported them in the Rice story because I've honestly always been told they were never in this deal. Of course not. Arteta and Edu deserve immense credit for the work they've done here, dating back to January in crucial hours when Man City submitted a bid. Arteta remained convinced about having Rice. He kept pushing on the player side, convincing him about the project and how it's perfect for Rice. Fair enough. Once again, we've agreed a deal. We're working out minor details on the structure. We've also been linked with Tchouameni. Apparently, we will reignite our interest in Tchouameni if pursuits of Lavia and Caicedo fail. I'll leave that with you lot. Let me know you lot's thoughts. I would love Tchouameni, but these guys, you got to buy them at Bordeaux. He's just landed at Real Madrid. Arsenal have added Tchouameni to their list of transfer targets. We have been told, says Football Transfers, that if the Premier League outfit failed to sign either Brighton's Caicedo or Lavia, they will test the waters for the Real Madrid midfielder. Surely we'll just go for Monaco's Fofana, who we've been linked with. Arsenal are long-term admirers of the French international and now have set their sights on bringing him to the Emirates if they're unable to secure the services of the other two midfielders. I mean, it's silly season. DiMarzio said Declan Rice was going to City. He might play for City one day, just not now. Anyone's just chatting nonsense. So we have to see. Obviously, it's been a testing time for Tchouameni at club and country. It's not always been rosy for him at Real Madrid. He obviously missed the penalty for France at the World Cup. He's going to have to develop. Apparently, Perez rates in people. Apparently, this article has said Perez sees the midfielder as the centerpiece of next season. He's told Ancelotti Tchouameni will need more minutes next campaign as part of a double pivot. Perez sees him as the next Casemiro and will certainly not accept anything less than the €100 million that Real Madrid paid Monaco last summer. And I mean, if I'm Real Madrid, I don't want to lose I don't want to lose the prospect of Valverde, Tchouameni, Jude Bellingham, and Camavinga. It's a myth, really and truly. So we'll have to see, really. I think this is just clickbait nonsense. But apparently, payment terms for the Declan Rice deal between Arsenal and West Ham expected to be resolved shortly. Smash the like button and let me know your thoughts. I'll pre the comments in just a second, people. Once again, allegedly, Ethan turned down more lucrative financial offers from elsewhere to stay at Arsenal. Boy, the England Youth International was raised a short distance from the Emirates. Big him up. Apparently, Partey is preparing for pre-season in an Arsenal top. And yeah, these are two top talents, man. And they're even better human beings, man. I know for a fact Ethan comes from a very both sporting and well-mannered family. Miles definitely the same. They're good individuals, let alone footballers. They're good people. Both have a willingness to learn. Both don't feed into egos and all of that sort of stuff. Allegedly, Real Madrid worked on a Havertz deal for months in silence and were waiting for the right deal to pounce. And their well-respected scout was involved. What I would say, whatever you have to say about Havertz, if he's consistently picked for his country, If Real Madrid wanted him, if Bayern Munich wanted him, clearly they weren't down to pay the money that was talked about. If Arteta wanted him in Arsenal, then there's got to be something in this lad. Chelsea actually wanted to give the man a new deal. He made it clear, I'm not signing a new deal and I want to cut. So, give the man a chance, really and truly. Oh, is everyone back Is everyone back for preseason, or is this the next place? But nice to see Trossard, Saliba, Tomiyasu, and Martinelli preparing for the new season. We're going to need all the lads there. Dharma Sheffer said we'll continue to negotiate with West Ham today over the structure of the deal, people. Once that's agreed, Rice will sign off on personal terms and have his medical, and we're closer to getting to him. Talk Sport apologies, has said Declan Rice has been given permission to undergo a medical at Arsenal. We've been linked with Mickey van de Ven, which based on what I see in Bundesliga, he looks decent. And Spurs get him to go with Maddison. That's good business. Having brought in Timber and Kirio in the last two windows, I very much doubt that we're going to go for another centre-back, in my opinion. But I do think he's decent. He's quite quick. He's been linked with Arsenal and actually Napoli as well as Spurs. I think it's just clickbait there, but make of that what you will, people. Apparently, Nelson, will be out of contract in 2 days. And apparently, AC Milan held talks with him over signing for them. But apparently, he's set to sign a new deal for Arsenal Football Club. So we'll have to see when official confirmation arises. Liverpool have been tipped to hijack our move for Lavia, people. We'll have to see. And as much as I like Lavia, he's only played 29 times in the Premier League. So he's good, but there's many things he needs to do better, people. Apparently, a journalist out of Belgium, Sasha Chevalier, said, what I can say is Liverpool are going ahead with the profile. They're still interested. I want to try and get you on a vid as well. They're still interested and they have kept contact with the entourage of the player. They announced their intention to make an offer this summer. This is something quite concrete and huge. As I said in my tweet yesterday, there are contacts with Southampton that can really help on the deal. And apparently we've been, he's got the same agent as Bukayo Saka and we've kept a close relationship with such. We'll have to see how it develops. We all know of City's buyback clause, so we'll have to monitor that. Manchester United have been linked with Caicedo in the last few hours, people, but apparently they're doubtful on Brighton's 100 million asking price. Can't blame them for wanting that when you've seen, not even about the player, what Jude Bellingham's gone for, what Declan Rice could go for, what Enzo Fernandez has gone for. They should be believed. They should believe that Caicedo is equally as an important asset. So we'll have to see. Apparently, documents are being prepared to be checked in relation to Declan Rice, or better yet, Arsenal and West Ham, and that will be done in the next 24 hours. Final green light on payment terms is expected soon. Here we go. Sounds a bit hypocritical there, but based on what we've read with Romano. But allegedly, positive talks continue between Arsenal and Ajax over the signing of Timber. One source has claimed the clubs are getting closer to an agreement on the price. The player's personal terms are not expected to be a problem, and crucially, he wants to join. Apparently, Romano has said we only have one target as a centre-back, and it's obviously Timber. We've submitted a 45/48 million euros bid, which is probably our second bid 3 days ago. There's optimism and confidence, people. This lad who I said, Mickey van de Ven, he's on Spurs' list and not ours. So we'll have to see really and truly how these develop. Arsenal will test the waters for Real Madrid midfielder Tchouameni if they fail to sign Caicedo or Lavia. So we'll have to see. And apparently West Ham are crazy. Apparently they want Tavares in a cut price deal after selling Declan Rice. Knock 16 million off because we need to make double our money and we'll allow you. Take him tomorrow. He'll get to stay in London at least. We've been linked with Diamande, who is linked for last summer before he went to Sporting Lisbon. Apparently, Arsenal, Newcastle and City are monitoring him, people, though he's not thought to be an urgent priority for these clubs. Sporting are likely to insist that his £68 million release clause is paid to let him go. Having only been there 2 minutes, that's a madness. And finally, apparently, our new kits have been released, people, which I will be getting them. I can't lie, Arsenal, we're doing us dirty. This away kit is crap. The third kit looks lit. Let me know your thoughts on that. That is apparently the away kit will be released on the 18th of July, which is a couple of weeks away. And on the 1st of August, our third kit will launch. This is wavy. That is horrible, Arsenal. But yeah, where transfer news is concerned, let me know your thoughts and everything discussed, folks. That is what we have to speak about there. Transfer news. I thought, let me get that out of the way, because when I cut it up and pull it on my channel so that some of you can watch a bite-sized version, there you have it. Sane and Mane, please, not Gnabry is okay. What else have we got? I left you lot hanging for a minute. Lokonga, I don't feel can command his position. I hear that as well. And again, with the players we've got at the club, it would be difficult for him. I just think maybe it's his playing style. I just think the game passes him by. He can play as 8. I've been spoiled as an Arsenal fan to see serious midfielders. I don't think Lokonga's of that ilk. Don't think he's mature